Hello and welcome to Home Brewing TV. This is the Spike CF15, and if you're interested in this piece of equipment, stay tuned.
Welcome back. Today our critique of this unit is going to be based off of the equipment sent to us by Spike, which will include the base unit and some accessories that don't normally come with the unit. We'll cover all of those things as we go through the day. If you're interested in just our
Bottom line.
Yes, our bottom line review of the unit, go to this time code here at the end of this video, and we'll at that point have all of our questions answered.
When sanitizing, you can do it any way you normally would. I opted to fill this thing up with 15 gallons of sanitizer. Probably an overkill, but I used it so I could then soak all these different parts in it.
Alright, one thing I learned that you don't want to do is open this valve to empty. Let me demonstrate. I've done this prior without the bucket, thinking, well, actually no, I had the bucket there. That's not a good spot for the bucket. So this is a lot of pressure. Oh. We'll throw it nearly all the way across the room. Oh, God. And soak your pants.
This is a much better option.
So I'm sticking the seal in. I'm just making sure it's seated. And the theory is that that'll stay on when I put this on the top. It did not. Not excited about that design. That's just falling off of there. All right, we are 2 days in on our fermentation. The pressure is holding steady at about 12 psi. I was under the impression this was supposed to hold 15 psi, but it's never, even when I pressurized it, never got that high. So 12 seems to be where it's sitting and staying. The cooling coil I got hooked up into my fridge, and there's just a bucket of water in there and a little aquarium pump pumping that around, and that is holding temperature right at 64 degrees, which is exactly where I wanted it. So under pressure, 2 days in, I was going to take a gravity reading. So let's do that. Well, first of all, it's coming out extremely foamy because it's pressurized. So that's going to take a little while to settle down. And when it does that, I will let you know what that reading is. It's very difficult to read, but it's roughly 1024 right now.
Well, here we are, 1 week later. And yep. Paul, I see we've got our Spike Brewing device here that Spike Brewing was...
CF15.
The CF15. CF15.
I'm going to guess that stands for Conical Fermentor 15 gallon. That's just my guess.
Nothing gets by this guy. Okay, so anyway, I was not around for the second half of the brew day. So I'm going to ask Paul some questions here because I've just been noting a few things. Paul, you've got this here at about 11 pounds per square inch.
Yep.
Was that your target that you wanted, or is
my impression when I received the unit was that it's supposed to hold 15 psi. This valve right here is supposed to automatically hold 15 psi. And it has really never gone higher than about 12.
What do you think accounts for that?
Just faulty. It's either a faulty unit or it's just not calibrated right, but there's no way to calibrate it, so you're kind of stuck with whatever you got.
Okay. So has that posed any problems having the lower pound per square inch, or is that yet to be determined?
Well, that's yet to be determined. I've only pressurized one other batch of beer, and I did that at 15. Turned out great. I don't know if there's a difference between 12 and 15, but it is holding the 12 psi. Don't get me wrong. It's holding it. It's just not getting up to where I thought it would be.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just noticing on the unit here, it's very nice, looks solid. However, I'm seeing the hoses here, and I'm noticing, perhaps a little crimping here in this one especially.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about this? Why is this crimping? What's going on here?
If I were to change one thing, now don't get me wrong, the cooling coil that's in here, phenomenal. I mean, it goes from the top all the way down to about way down here. It will cool 15 gallons, it'll cool 5 gallons. It'll do its job. But they have straight posts up here on the top, and as I don't know if you can see it or not, I'll take a shot of it maybe later. You're getting a little crimping in the coils, in the lines here. Mm-hmm. I think if they were to put 90-degree bends on these, that would improve that quite a bit. But
that would make sense. Tell me about the sealing. How's the sealing doing here on the?
Well, the gasket that they have with it, I thought when I first saw it, I'm like, wow, that's a thick, awesome gasket. I thought this is going to be no problem.
Okay.
But the process of putting the gasket in,
mm-hmm.
there's nothing that really holds it in place, and you have to turn the whole unit over and place it on top, which I've had trouble with it constantly kind of like falling out.
Okay.
I tried to grease it up with Star Sand. Of course, that was a dumb thing because Star Sand's slippery.
Yes.
And that just dropped right out. So then I did water. Water seemed to hold it, but I don't know if you need to use some sort of like a keg lubricant or something in there that would make it stick. But
But it seems that you've got it. Once it's on, it's sealed.
It's a great seal, but it's kind of a tricky thing to get.
Do you think that maybe any type of leakage at all might account for the inability to get up to the 15 pounds? And if so, where would that leakage be? Because I don't see.
I can't see. I mean, all of these things are tightened down pretty good. I don't see anywhere that you'd get a leak other than just this. Well,
whoop, there you go. Now we're down to
now
we're down to 10. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm thinking that it's got to be the gasket here though.
That's maybe a very slow micro leak of some sort. Great.
Just not holding enough pressure.
Pretty solid temperature here. Nice gauge. Tell us about have you been able to maintain a good steady temperature given the coil and what kind of system do you have set up here?
All I've got going on here. This is going into an aquarium pump that's inside of my little college fridge, and I've just got an aquarium pump pumping that through. I've got an Inkbird controlling the temperature of the fridge itself, which is keeping the water in there at 64 degrees, and it's just pumping through, and this is held constant the entire time. It's been really good.
Okay. So you're very up on this thermometer, and I love analog stuff. It's such a throwback. I like the look.
What I really like about the thermometer is that it's a thermal well. It's not you can put anything you want in there. It's not going to leak out because the thermal is in there. You're screwing into the thermal.
I see. Got it.
So if you wanted to put a digital thermometer in there,
you can do that as well.
You can do that. Yeah.
Interesting. That I did not know. Excellent. What else can you tell me? I noticed the yeast is starting to settle out down here.
Let me wrap up. I think all of the issues I've seen with this product start at the top of this lid with the seal and go up.
Okay.
Everything below this point has been just phenomenal. I mean, this thing is engineered wonderfully. I mean, I haven't had a single thing that I did not like about the lower half of this unit.
Have you found this to be steady enough? I noticed that this is...
It rocks a little bit, but it's considering how tall it is with the leg extensions on here, I think it's great. I mean, they give you the base plate that holds all the legs together. So
right. So it's kept it steady enough for purposes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. Yeah, it looks like a nice little unit.
All right, so anyway, we are now 7 days. So this is 1 week since we brewed.
Correct.
I took a reading on previous Wednesday.
Okay, what was that?
Which would have been, it would have been second day in because I didn't put the yeast in right away because I had to cool it down. But so that was 2 days in. That was reading was 10:24, I believe.
And your goal for this?
I want to get it down to about 10:12, 10:10, somewhere
okay.
there.
All right.
So I'd say let's take a reading
okay.
and find out where we are.
Sounds good. Almost.
Yeah, it looks like about 10, 10, 10, 11, somewhere in there, huh?
And I think that was your goal.
That is my goal.
I think we're
ready to put secondary.
Ready to secondary in it. Yep.
All right. So we need to depressurize the tank. We're going to add all of our secondary ingredients to it after. Well, no, back up. Depressurize.
Yes.
Empty the yeast.
And then you'll be ready
after we put in secondary ingredients,
right.
I will repressurize.
Okay.
Hopefully get it to 15.
Right.
I don't know if it will.
We'll see.
And well, yeah. Let's get to it.
This is really good.
It's really good, isn't it?
Let's squeeze it to see if we can get a little more out.
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Okay. Okay.
Good.
Now, I'm not going to take this off, I don't think. I think what we'll do is we'll take this out.
Off.
Yeah,
Out.
we'll take this out. Because we have to add all of our secondary ingredients.
Into the top. Whoop, there you go. A little left over.
Yep. Hang right there.
Let's pull this straight up.
Yep, pull it up. Tell you what, I will get you a little... Here. Yeah, don't lose that O-ring.
Yeah.
I've had that issue.
Yeah, I don't want that O-ring going down.
Okay, let's just put the O-ring into the star sand down here.
Okay, hold on then. We need to do is
just pull straight.
Pull it straight up.
Straight up.
This is going to be a long coil, so we need to do is unclamp this. Got it?
There we go. Keep going. Oh my goodness.
Whoa!
There we are. Woo! That's messy.
It is.
Right into the star sand.
All right.
All right, and then I'm going to put the coil, or not the coil, the O-ring in there, so that we know that the O-ring's in there.
It's in there.
All this good stuff is going to go into this bucket in theory. Here we go. Ready?
We're ready, and we're zeroed in.
Clamp.
Let's do this. Whoa!
Oh yeah!
Beautiful.
So that's all. That's a big mess. Is what that is. Woo! I feel all full of beer.
How do you feel, Paul?
I feel one
with
the beer and the yeast and
yes. Mosaic does have a nice smile smell to it. Oh, that's abuse.
I know. Normally I'd pick those up, but not in secondary.
Unless they're getting boiled.
Okay. And now for the coconut. 1 point, what did we say? 8 ounce? No. Yeah.
It's basically 1.5 pounds. 1.5 pounds.
Yeah.
All right. I've heard about putting the lime in the coconut and drink it all up, but you're actually putting the coconut in the beer, and then you're gonna drink it all up.
Give it a scoop. There you go. It'll get easier as we go.
Paul, this really smells excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose for our European friends, if they didn't want to just add the coconut, they could put muesli in it. Our European friends will know what that is.
Really? I don't know what that is. Enlighten me.
It's a European thing, Paul.
Thanks. All right.
Excellent.
Star sand.
Shake that out.
in you go.
All right. Where's your,
Right here.
there it is.
Flip that over there. Tighten this up. You would be so kind as just to clamp that back onto here, however that was. Okay.
Oh, we're still crimped here.
Yeah. That's the best we can do.
Okay.
All right. All right. And now we will repressurize.
We're tight here too?
Yep,
It's all
should
good.
be.
We're tight here.
Yep, put this on here and we'll see how we get.
At 5. Push it good there, Paul. Push it real good.
Well, this thing is set to 16 psi, so let's see if the thing gets any higher than 10.
It's really petering out at 8 or 9 almost. Yeah, I'd call round it up to 9.
Okay, well, that seems to be as far as that's going to go.
So there's just got to be a source of a leak. Something.
So we'll see if it creates any more of its own pressure, because it should. I mean, we did just put a whole bunch more sugar in there with the coconut. We'll see what happens. But secondary is in. We've got pressure. And I'm just going to turn on the pump again to keep it the right temperature and clean this thing up a little bit. We will see where we are in a week or so. We'll take another reading and then maybe cake some beer.
All right, it's been 2 weeks since we've brewed, and pressure still holding steady at 10 psi. I was unable to get it to cold crash beyond about 54 degrees. My little college fridge just can't keep up with it. It's just not efficient enough. I guess if you're gonna cold crash with this, you're gonna need some sort of glycol system, because water's just not. I can't get it to do it. So today, I will be draining the beer into kegs. I don't like the fact that I have no idea how much beer is in here. Wish there was some sort of sight glass or some way of telling how much is in here. I mean, a ton of it came out of there when I dumped the yeast, so I don't know how much beer I've got. So what I'm gonna do is depressurize. I'm gonna take the lid off, see what the level is at, and just drain the beer out, gravity feed it out. Let's get to it. Out. And this is going to be hard to see what's going on in there. All the pressure being released. Hold it. Nope. Still popped out.
first keg. All we're gonna get. All right. See how ugly cleanup is here. There we go. All over the floor. That nice as that butterfly valve is, it just couldn't handle the coconut.
Well, Paul, what was your overall impression with this unit? Itemize your critiques.
Sure. As an entire unit, I really like the unit.
Okay.
It's very well built. There are a few issues that we'll cover here, but overall, I'm very, very, very happy with it.
Oh, good.
I guess let's just start at the top. The unit we had has the cooling coils on it, which I will drop stuff. But the cooling coil is phenomenal, because this unit, when you put it on the top, will go all the way down into a 5-gallon batch if you were to use it for a 5-gallon batch. So you can do 5, 10, 15-gallon batches and still control the temperature using the cooling coil. Issue I have with that is if you've got that unit on top, there is no way for you to tell how much beer is in the unit. So if you're dumping trub, you're dumping yeast, and the level's going down, unless you're measuring what liquid you've got on the bottom, you have no idea what's left in the unit.
Well, I understand that there is an accessory that will help you determine that, a sight glass of sorts.
No, the clear top?
Yes.
Well, yeah, they do have a clear top. It's I don't know if it's glass or plexiglass or what it is, but you can get that to put on the top here. But again, if you've got this in place, it's this or the other piece.
So the glass top does not permit the cooling rods here, obviously, because it's just one clear piece of glass.
Right.
So you have to choose whether you want to be able to view it or whether you want to actually be able to utilize the control temperatures. Correct.
Right. So if you are controlling temperature, this is very good. I like it. Let's do this route. If you're not controlling temperature, why don't you grab the lid?
Be the lid.
Yep. If you're not controlling temp, in this configuration, you would be doing. You could still pressurize it. You just wouldn't be able to control the temp. But in this case, you could use that clear cap. You just replace this piece with the clear cap. All right, next on our list of things, the pressurization kit.
What was your opinion of the pressurization? I know that you were having an issue trying to get the PSI reading to even get anywhere near 15. Talk about that.
Okay, well, first I want to just touch on why I was trying to shoot for 15.
Okay.
When you ferment under pressure, a couple of things are going on here.
Mm-hmm.
The pressure is keeping the corrosion level down so you can have more liquid in here without worrying about blow off. The other thing it's doing is it's increasing the speed at which everything's fermenting. So you cut that time limit down, which will cut down any kind of off flavors that you could get from yeast.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you would want to pressure ferment.
To expedite the fermentation process.
Fermentation and control off flavors.
Okay.
I was going for 15 because, as a general rule, in a production, in a large brewery production, the vats are so huge they don't necessarily ferment to pressure, but at the bottom of those tanks you're getting pressure based off of just the liquid level that's in there.
Okay.
And that pressure is going to be ranging in the vast roughly around 30 psi.
Okay.
And anything above that, you're really going to start to stress the yeast out and burst the cells and get even worse, worse issues. But so I was trying to hit that halfway point, 15 psi.
Okay.
It was something I was able to do with other fermenters that I've tested and shown you. But this one here was never really going higher than 10 psi. And I was kind of confused because this is supposed to be, it's a set valve. You can't control the level at which this is releasing pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to the guys at Spike, and they said that this pressure relief valve is set to slowly degas at roughly 13 psi and keep it at that 10 psi mark.
Okay. And why is that? Why would they do that?
Well, I asked them if, why they didn't make it controllable.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I can come up with is that it's got to be a liability issue. They don't want people setting the pressure up too high and having this thing explode. I cannot imagine this thing at even 30 psi
Exploding. Okay.
I mean, it kind of. I understand it's a legal thing, but I would like more control over it. Not bad. I mean, it does hold their 10 psi like they want, but I just like more control over it.
Okay.
So that's my only issue with that. If you're not pressurizing,
Okay.
if you're just using this as a blow off, what comes with this unit is a 90-degree racking tube that you just stick a hose on, and then you can use that as your blow off tube, which, fine. That works just perfectly. Now, Mike, I think they have a fancier way of doing that.
They have a fancier piece of equipment. I believe it's a $40 accessory. It's a nice stainless steel tube that is much longer, and it gives maybe an overall more professional look. They call it a blow-off cane, and it gives a nice look to it, but our opinion is, if you agree with me here, it's not really necessary.
No, it's an aesthetic thing as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I don't see any benefit to having it. It's a nice accessory.
Yeah. We are down to the lid itself. Great design as far as easy to clamp down, tighten. Well, let's take it off. So you get it loose enough, you just undo that little latch. Don't wait.
So what it consists of here?
Why don't we just hang it back here? That way they can grab the lid.
Sure.
All right.
Well, there's a problem, and this is what we are going to speak to.
All right. This is the biggest problem with this unit. While it does create a very good airtight seal, no question there. Getting this seal to stay in this lid.
And it seats fine. It's easy to seat. However,
you gotta flip it over when it's dry.
This is, I'm sure, not a problem at all.
When it's dry, such as it is, I didn't have much of a problem with it. So just, okay, so yes, as you can see, it's staying in there just fine. So. Now, you've been brewing, and you need to take the top off.
What's the first thing that comes off when you pull up the top?
Oh, like we did last time there. You see the thing falls off, and it's either going to fall into the beer or you're going to catch it. If this is off, you're not going to stick this thing back on while it's dirty. So you need to spray it down with some Star Sand. Go ahead and just clean it up like you normally would. Okay. Now go ahead and seat that back in. Per the instructions, top, bottom, and then it's the two sides. All good?
Would appear so.
All right. Let's try to get that back on there.
Okay. Whoops!
And it falls right off.
Right off. Bottom line with the unit here is that there's some improvement that could be done. Basically, as you've just seen, nobody brews in a dry environment. Be a first for me if I ever did, and you know, that's just not the case. Folks at Spike need to improve the seating mechanism for the gasket, and especially when it's wet. So that's another critique that we have with this unit here. It works, it seals, but be careful. If it gets wet, you're going to be chasing the product out of the beer, out of the wort. So that's one critique we have.
So this here is the CF15 base unit. This is what you'll get if you buy just the CF15 with no accessories. You're going to get the steel plate top, the blow-off 90-degree angle, 6 feet of half-inch inner diameter tubing that you would put on there for your blow-off. Your
analog thermometer,
and you'll get a half-inch diameter thermal well, analog thermometer.
And how's that placed? Is this place small enough to record a 5-gallon batch?
Yeah, 5-gallon batch will bring you right about there.
Perfect.
Sample valve, 1.5 inch tri-clamp.
Butterfly valve.
Butterfly valve, 1.5 inch tri-clamp, and your 2-inch tri-clamp fittings and butterfly valve with a 90-degree turn.
But however, you only get the standard set of legs. So as we recommended, definitely get the extension.
Right. So yeah, because this thing full is going to be way too heavy to be sitting on top of a standing table.
Yeah. Well, Paul,
Yeah.
your overall impression, specific items on this unit, the good, the bad, what would you suggest would complement this unit? What would you suggest not to have with the unit? Your overall, let's go part by part with this unit. Overall impression. No?
Wow, that went on for a while there, didn't it?
Let's.
Welcome back. Our critique today. Welcome back. Our critique today is going to be based off of the equipment provided by us, which is going to have some accessories that don't normally come with it. No,
Not provided by us.
You're right. You're right. We didn't do that, did we?
No, we didn't provide it. Share with your friends, Paul. There you go. Whoop.
I think we're
It's a little chunky in there.
Well, you want to swap glasses?
No.
All right.
No. I like chunks.
Not going there. Doing it.
I didn't say that.
Well, that is it. We have finally finished. It was a pleasure brewing, fermenting with the CF15. If there's anything that Mike and I did not cover during this review, please let us know. We will be happy to answer any and all questions. Would like to thank you for watching. If this is your first video with us, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. That lets you know when we do have new content coming out. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up. Put a comment down below. Let us know what you think. And share it. Please share this with your friends who are interested in some of the Spike products. Anyway, until next time, keep brewing, my friends.